I apologize for that. Guys, Enigma's video was so shitty, it crashed my stream. It just stopped for no explained reason. At first I thought I got DMCA'd or something, but no. It just stopped. I could only presume that Enigma's video was so bad it just crashed my stream. Because my Wi-Fi didn't blow out, which I thought happened. My Wi-Fi's fine. It didn't get DMCA'd. I don't know. I don't get it. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to break this up into parts, I guess. Which is weird, but whatever. I guess at least it makes the stream seem less long. But yeah, after this video, I'm going to have to listen to some Disturbed or something because, my God. What the hell, dude? I know taste in music is subjective, but my God. That sucks. At least you were able to get through the worst of it, James. And I understand not everyone's going to be able to stay for the full stream. I mean, it's already 1 a.m. where I am. I've already lost pretty much my whole night. I'm probably not going to be able to work on any videos because I was actually working on another episode of Bad Death Battle Ideas. I was going to start working on it once I got home, but because of this drama, I now have to waste my time dealing with this crap. Rather than making videos that I know you guys want. This sucks. I really hope this drama ends. I do not want any more drama. But I guess let's continue. If your brain is fried, then maybe your criticism isn't as valid as you think that it is. Because I did accept some of your criticism. However, there was some criticism that I disregarded because it wasn't legitimate. How many times do we have to go through this? This is one reason why I didn't want to make a video to Enigma, because it feels like he expects me to listen to him, but he won't listen to me. You know? You should know, Enigma. Your buddy Shom must have told you that I'm a good sport when it comes to criticism, assuming it's fair criticism. I took it to heart. I took his criticism to heart. What? Again, I don't know what he wants. Like, it just comes off like a teenager or a child to me. It's like, oh, well, he's not listening to me. I give up. Like, what the hell? lie, 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 lie. Why do you have to lie? At no point did I ever say that coming out was pointless. This is what happens when you make baseless assertions. If you actually made an attempt to understand what I was trying to say, I did not say that coming out is pointless. The most I did say was, what's the point of making a video on the internet about it? That's the most I said. The worst case scenario, I implied that making a coming out video is pointless. Because to an extent, why does everyone on the internet need to know of your sexuality? Now again, friends, family, potential lovers, that makes sense. Even to an extent, if she has her own Discord, that could make sense as well. But why make a YouTube video about it? Now sure, you're free to disagree with me, but however, to say that I think that coming out is pointless is absolutely incorrect. I even said in my comment that it matters to certain people, like potential lovers. It is absolutely important for them. But why is it important? Why is it important for the entire internet to know? I mean, again, the closest I've heard to an argument about this is it helps them come over their insecurities. I mean, personally, I don't see how making a video saying that you're gay is really going to help with that, you know? Sure, I mean, I guess it helps in people knowing, and I guess it helps getting it out there so you don't feel that you're hiding it. And again, to point out to people in the comment sections, no, I did not imply that she needs to hide who she is. Not at all. Again, worst case scenario, all I was saying was that making a video of coming out is somewhat pointless, and it just comes off as a little bit attention seekery. You know? Now again, you can disagree with that. Let's see what else. Again, I accept criticism, but I will not accept lies. And yes, you can lie from ignorance, Enigma. Once again, total outright lie. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm getting riled up, but this is frustrating. I have not ignored your critiques. Maybe actually pay attention to my channel, and you would see that I have taken your criticism to heart. I've taken the criticism of your little buddy Shone to heart. I remade an entire video, and I used his criticism as a baseline to make it better. And again, I'm tired of him. It's not true, dude. You are just lying. You are either maliciously lying or you are ignorantly lying. Again, going back to how you are doing the exact same thing that Fish tries to accuse me of, saying that I'm making assumptions about people. You are making assumptions about me. I'm starting to get the feeling that our friend over here may potentially lack self-awareness. And look, dude, if you want to keep pushing me for a response, you'll get it, but you may not like it. And if you get roasted, or you end up looking like a jackass at the end of it, don't blame me. You pushed for this. I warned you in our Discord chats. Do not push me. If you keep pushing, and if you make yourself look like a jackass, you're going to have no one to blame but yourself. I don't always like making response videos to people in certain circumstances because I don't want people to give up, you know? I don't want to potentially ruin smaller channels. And no, that's not because I'm going to hurt them, but more so because if they make fools out of themselves, like the people in my Never Go Full Retard series, or if they get caught lying, being intellectually dishonest, that's going to be exposed on my channel, whether you want it or not. Because one thing you should know about me, I am a man of truth. I detest propaganda. I detest lies. I always speak the truth, and I am always real with people. I do not like to speak from ignorance. It is never something that I am comfortable with. I mean, I don't like that I have to be basically forced into drama just to make a response to this guy. I told him if he was a little bit patient, he may have seen that either A, he would have gotten the response that he wanted, or B, he may have seen that his criticisms may have actually gotten to me. So this tells me that our friend over here isn't a very patient person. But let's continue. Yeah, I did criticize you for your visuals. You know why? Because you had the audacity to come after my artwork. Artwork that I worked very hard on. You had the audacity to say that, oh, my artwork looks bad. I need to squint to look at it. First off, what sense does that make? In what way? Like, I'll give you guys an example of, and you tell me if you have a hard time seeing this. Give me a second. This may take a minute. Sorry about this. It's taking long. It's taking a minute. Okay, here we go. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this piece of artwork and you tell me if you think that there's something wrong with it. Because according to Enigma over here, my artwork is so bad, it is bad that he needs to squint just to be able to see it. Which, what sense does that make? He acts like the image is pulled far away. Look at the image, dude. My character is as close as the background will allow. What are you talking about? This is what I mean by some of your criticism is useless. You say that you need to squint to look at my artwork. Why? Squinting is only going to make it look all blurry. Like, I don't get it. Like, do you suffer from, like, astigmatism or something? Can you not see things that are, like, right in front of your own fucking face? Seriously. And you know why I criticized your visuals? Because you were talking to me about things needing to be cropped right. Yet, in your video, you have a Frieza PNG in a background, and the tail was outside the background. It was floating outside the background, which was a very poor crop job. Like, it just came off as a total nitpick. So yeah, you want to try to come after my visuals? Okay, how about you look at your visuals? How about you actually make a freaking crop that matches the background and parts of the PNG don't float outside of the background? How about that, Enigma? Or how about you make your own artwork instead of using other people's artwork? How about that? Like, how about you make some 3D artwork and then you come back to me and you try to tell me how easy it is? Okay? Because it ain't. I dare you. Go, come to me, make some 3D artwork, and then we'll talk. And another thing he criticized me for was I don't use enough poses or animations. Oh, why can't you just use more poses? I did. But he said, like, I didn't keep constantly switching poses. Like, I work on a lot of poses with my characters. Some of them are not even finished. I try to make my character as expressive as I can be. I'm even working on trying to get a setup to be a VTuber so my character can feel more alive. What you do, however, Enigma, you take a couple of PNGs, you slap them on an unrelated background, and you call it a day. To me, that comes off as lazy. Now, sure, you could say that's just my opinion, but it is my opinion nonetheless. But let's get back to this video. I wanted to give an example of why I found some of his criticism frustrating. So let's get back to it. Oh, gee. No shit. It's almost as if I'm aware that my videos have flaws. My videos are not as good as I want them to be. You want to know what I want my videos to look like? Look up a PSA Stitch video. Look up a ER video. That's what I want my videos to look like. And they rarely ever do. Now, I'm working on improving my craft. So, yeah. Dang it, I lost my train of thought. So, yeah, I'm working on improving my craft so my videos can be as good as I believe my fans deserve them to be. I'm fully aware that my videos have problems. I know that. You act like I don't seem to be aware of this. I work very diligently to try to improve my videos to make them the best that they can be. Well, at least that headache is over with. Almost used the wrong word for a minute. But yep, that was his response to me. Like, I can't with some people. Excuse me for a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, yeah. At least we're in the home stretch. All we have to do is just look at a couple of tweets, and we will hopefully be done with this drama. However, I cannot make any promises, because should Raven make her response, I may sadly have to respond to that as well. And since she's clearly willing to hear my side of the story, odds are this may never have a happy ending, as much as that may suck. But it is a very real possibility. I mean, it's so frustrating that we live in such a sensitive time where words are treated to to be equal to that of violence or trying to hurt someone. Like, whatever happened to sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? Honestly, whatever happened to that? Look, Renbro, I did not want any of this. Now, I can see why Raven may have seen what I said as offensive, but that was not my intention. Look up a little something called Hanlon's Razor. And look, at the end of the day, here's what it all comes down to. If you, Renbro, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Renbro. Sorry if I pronounce it right. It may take me a couple tries. But look, I know you're affiliated with Raven in some way. And look, I don't know if you were here for part 1, but I mentioned something known as Hanlon's Razor. And if you're familiar with that concept, I believe that had that been followed, this could have been avoided. Raven was very quick to assume the worst in me. That I was wanting to attack her, that I was wanting to hurt her. That was further from the truth. Ask me something, Renbo. What do I have to gain by hurting Raven? What does that do for me? What does that do for anyone? All it does is it just makes me look like a jerk, and it makes me look bad to my fans, and then it makes my fans look bad if they defend me, because I look like an asshole. What do I have to gain from trying to hurt Raven? I ask you this. Because I have no motivation to want to hurt her. Like, the fact that she's bisexual is not a problem to me. I myself am bisexual. Why would I want to hurt someone who's also bisexual? Look, I can't control my fans, okay? Like I tried to explain to you in the comments, here's what went down. Her response video to me and the coming out video was posted on my Discord. I did not tell them to do anything, and if you don't believe me, go private message or talk to Michael Hull if he's still in the live chat. That night, me and him, we were on a video chat. And I had the screen share on. And he can tell you, I did not send anyone to attack him. I did not send... My bad, I apologize. I slipped up on my words. I sent nobody to attack her. I did not tell people to dislike bomb her video. That is simply not true. What reason do I have to send them to attack her? Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but what is there to gain from me sending people to dislike bomb her video? That doesn't do anything. It's just pointless. Again, all that happened was her video was posted on my Discord and people did as they pleased. If people disliked her video, they may have had a reason for it. But you're so quick to assume it must be because of homophobia or because I sent them to attack them, as if I'm some grand evil manipulator sending my fans to attack people. Like, did Raven ever consider the possibility that maybe she got a lot of dislikes because a lot of people just maybe disagreed with something she did in the video, or they didn't find it to be a very good video? Had that thought ever occurred to you or even her? Look, once again, Renbo, I can't control people. You are telling me to control human beings. I cannot control them. Also, what evidence do you have that they were my fans? Do you have any evidence that it was my fans that downvoted the video? Correlation does not equal causation. It feels to me like you don't even want to listen. It feels to me like you found your narrative. I did not send anyone to attack Raven. And let's say they were dislike bombing her video and I told them to stop. Again, I can't control people. What do you want me to do? Seriously. Human beings have free will. I can't control them. They're gonna do what they want regardless of what I say. Even if I tell them not to do something, they're gonna do it anyway. In fact, if you tell someone not to do something, it's just gonna make them want to do it even more. It's just how humans are. The only way in which I would ever send my fans to attack someone is if it was someone like Onision. Someone who did something really objectively terrible. I did apologize. If you were here for part 1, I did apologize. And if Raven is willing to talk to me rather than trying to block me, I'm already prepared to apologize. If that's what she wants, fine. However, though, how can I apologize if she won't let me talk to her? That's fine. If you were busy, that's perfectly okay. However, an apology was given in part 1. And I will apologize to her if she's willing to listen. But if she's not willing to listen, then there's not really much I can do. You know? And look, you can call my fans toxic all you want, but once again, Hanlon's razor. You are assuming malice. You are assuming my fans are toxic because they may or may not disagree with you. Like, look, they're entitled to their opinions. If they believe that I haven't done anything wrong or Raven doesn't deserve an apology, that's their opinion. And I'm not going to tell them they are right or wrong for having their opinion. Now, I will say this again. I didn't want any drama. I did not mean to hurt her. I said this in the comments, I said it in the stream, and I'll say it here again. Had she simply reached out to me, we could have worked things out. I am not an unreasonable person. If she told me that what I said hurt her, I would have said, "Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just trying to get across an honest message to her that I thought was important. It was not meant to hurt her. Here's all I was trying to tell Raven." And sure, there were points of my comment where I could have worded it better. I understand that. But here's all I was trying to get across to her. All I wanted was for her to understand this. Don't let your sexuality define who you are. You are more than your sexuality. You are more than your skin color. You are more than your sex. Show us who you are as a person, as an individual. Show us what defines who you are. Show us character. Now, sure, it's good to understand what you are, but here's the thing. Your sexuality, your skin color, your heritage, that's what you are, but that's not necessarily who you are. In this generation, all too often, young people are led to believe that their skin color, their sex, their gender, their whatever is who they are as a person. That couldn't be further from the truth. I asked this question earlier, and I will ask it to you now. If I just came up to you and said, "I am a LGBT crossdresser," what would that honestly tell you about me? Now, there is no right or wrong answer here. But here's my perspective. It would tell you nothing about me. If I just went up to you and said, "Hi, I'm a white bisexual crossdresser," would that really tell you anything about who I am as a person? Sure, it might tell you what I am, but it doesn't tell you who I am. And look, like I said, and this is one of my regrets, and I'll say it again here since you weren't here for part one, I do wish I could have worded that comment better. Someone in Fan Wars comment section said somebody should have thought about what they said before they said it, and here's the thing, I did. If you look at the comment, I mean you can't because comments are disabled, but I actually re-edited the comment on multiple occasions. I thought very long and hard about it because I didn't want my words to be taken out of context. Now, here's the thing. I was not trying to tell her that her sexuality is meaningless. Not at all. All I was simply trying to get across to her was, at the end of the day, your sexuality does not change who you are as a person. And don't let it define who you are. You are more than your sexuality. Think about it. Isn't the whole point of the current year that we're trying to fight against stereotypes and tokenism? Don't you think it's kind of shallow to just look at someone and say their bisexuality is who they are as a person? I don't know about you, but that to me seems extremely shallow, you know? And that's all I was trying to get across to her. Yes, you are correct. I could have worded it better, and I wish I did word it better. And for that, I will apologize. But here's the thing. I'm not homophobic. I have nothing against if Raven genuinely believes she's bisexual. That's great. But I explained this in part one. But I honestly thought, based on her behavior, that she was making the video for some kind of attention or to get some kind of parade, you know? Because nowadays, being gay literally gets you a parade, both literally and figuratively. I don't want to be on bad terms with Raven. I'm willing to work things out. This doesn't have to go public. This doesn't need to be drama. I have a Discord. I have a Twitter. I have a Facebook. She's free to reach out to me at any time. I'll sit down. I'll talk to her. We'll come to an understanding. We will reason together as people. Do these sound like the words of a hateful person to you? And I expressed this before, Renbo, and I'll say it here again. I personally felt disrespected by Raven when I watched her response video to me. Now, don't misunderstand. I did not feel disrespected because she criticized me. Some of her criticism was fair. And I do look back at that video, and you know what? I am a little bit embarrassed about some of the things I said in that video. But here's why I felt disrespected by her, and I want to make this perfectly clear. My feeling of disrespect has no connection to why I made that comment. I made that comment simply because I made the choice to, because I wanted to be honest and real with her. And I felt it would be an important message for her to take in. So, going back to my original point. When I saw her video, the first thing I see is she censors the word trap, both in the title of her video and in her video herself. And she cannot be bothered to call me by my name, even saying that my name is suspect, but she won't explain why. Now, I asked her very politely, why did you censor the word trap? Why won't you call me by my proper name? I understand. I'm busy too. When this whole drama was going down, I was at work. And I'm not going to lie, I was pretty stressed out at work. But here's the thing. She needs to understand that what she said made me feel disrespected. Because you want to know what I personally thought when I saw her video? She thinks that trap is a slur. And she is trying to censor traps. She is trying to say that traps are not valid. And guess what? I identify as a trap. And I felt very disrespected. If you go on my channel, you will see that I have a long history of educating people about what traps are and speaking out against the disrespect and attacks towards the trap community. I remember that I had to listen to a story from a good friend of mine who is also a fellow trap, of people from the transgender community trying to pink pill her. And if you don't know what the concept of pink pilling is, it's basically when a transgender goes up to a cross-dresser, femboy, or trap and bullies and manipulates them into believing that they are transgender. This is a real thing, and it is an epidemic on places like Twitter. And if you don't believe it's real, ask Michael Hull. He'll tell you his story, and it was very disturbing and difficult to listen to. Traps are under attack because there are people that spread these lies, that trap is a slur, that traps are getting trans people killed. It is not true, and I constantly have to fight against this. I constantly have to come to the defense of my sisters. And I don't know her motive for censoring the word trap. But here's the thing. What other motive could she have for censoring the word trap other than thinking that it's a slur? And if that's the case, then that is extremely unacceptable for Raven to do that, to blatantly disrespect traps like that. Traps are just as valid as bisexuals, gays, lesbians, and transgenders. We are valid too, yet we constantly face disrespect. Because there are some people out there that want to go around saying that trap is a slur so that way that transgenders can have their own N-word. I can tell you, I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, back when transphobia and homophobia was actually a thing. Nobody ever called a transgender a trap as a slur. They never did that. It wasn't a thing back then. There is an actual slur for transgenders, but out of respect for transgenders, I will not say that word here. But there is an actual slur for transgenders, but it is not trap. And I'm sorry, but I will not sit here and let Raven disrespect me or my sisters. We are valid. And if you're going to say we're not valid, then how are you any different from the homophobes and transphobes? I ask you. Because guess what? Traps face actual discrimination. Let me tell you a little story. It's about the time my grandfather discovered that I was a trap. I was getting dressed up for a date. And my grandfather came home. He saw me in my girl clothes. And you know what he did? He threatened to throw me out of the house. He said he was traumatized by what he saw. My brother had to come to my defense and talk him out of throwing me out of his house. So, the next time you go around thinking that it is okay to say that traps are not valid or that we're a trans slur or something like that, maybe actually think that traps, we are people too, and we face discrimination of our own. I have faced discrimination as a trap, and so has my sisters. And if Raven does believe that trap is a slur and that it needs to be censored, unacceptable. Censorship is a fascist concept, and it is not acceptable. So, maybe Raven should consider the fact that she may or may not have disrespected me. Now, again, my feeling of disrespect did not lead to me making that comment, because I'm not petty. I don't want to be petty. I always strive to be the better man. But when I look at these tweets, like, I can't help but to be disgusted by some of the things that she says. Let's see here. So here we go. He then went to my coming out video and he made these comments along with having his fans attack me. That is a blatant lie. That is objectively false. I have an eyewitness. So, Raven is objectively lying with no evidence. She does not cite any evidence that I sent my fans to attack her or that it was even my fans that so-called dislike bombed her video. Also, 13 dislikes? You consider that dislike bombing? Like, girl, let me tell you, I have gotten dislikes in the hundreds, okay? I have gotten straight up ratioed, okay? And you don't see me trying to play the victim about it. Like, if someone dislikes your video, who cares? Maybe take into account that maybe her video got disliked for a reason. Or maybe, again, Hanlon's razor, don't assume the worst in people. Because both Raven and Enigma have lied. And if these two are willing to lie about this, then it leads me to speculate. What else are they willing to lie about? What else could they be lying about? And I cannot respect people who lie. And yes, you can lie from ignorance. Not all lying has to be malicious. You can unknowingly lie about something. And this one is what gets me the most. She was scared. I blocked him from my YouTube and Discord. What he said about me being bi is disgusting. Here's the thing, Keyblade Master. Correlation does not equal causation. The video was posted on my Discord. And it was on YouTube. Anyone could have seen it. Good, Renbo. I'm glad we can at least come to an understanding on that. And now you know why I felt disrespected by Raven. Now, I don't hold any ill will towards Raven. I'm willing to sit down with her and talk about this, maybe even potentially have a debate with her about this on why she seems to want to censor the word trap. I don't want to assume that she's a bad person. I don't want to assume that she's a pink pillar, because I don't want to believe that she is a pink pillar. I don't want to believe that she could be such a horrible person. And look, Raven doesn't have to talk to me if she doesn't want to. I am not entitled to her time. However, I would personally prefer it if she reached out and spoke to me so we can come to some kind of understanding rather than going down this route and leading to drama. See, I don't want this drama. I want it to stop. I'm making this video / stream in the hopes of stopping this drama. I understand that a lot of Raven's friends are upset with me. I'm not going to say that you are not able to be upset with me. You are free to be upset with me. I perfectly understand that what I said came off as disrespectful. I can see that to an extent. But malicious intent was not involved. I did not desire to hurt her. I really didn't. I was trying to get across a positive message. And this is what gets me, and it really makes me sad that Raven did not mention this. In her comment section, her best friend, at least I think it's her best friend, if I'm wrong, you're free to correct me, but her best friend mentioned that her parents were refusing to let them talk to Raven, which I found somewhat concerning and suspect. So I left a comment saying that that person might want to call someone because they are potentially being abused by whoever they're living with. Now, does that sound like someone who wants someone to be hurt. I was genuinely concerned by Raven's friend. I was concerned of the possibility that that person could be getting abused, telling them they should call someone, they should reach out for help if they are potentially being abused. Because when people try to force people not to talk to someone, that is potentially a sign of abuse. Now, I don't know if that person is being abused. I don't know what goes on in their life. I can only speculate. However, the point I'm trying to get across is I am not a malicious person. I genuinely care about my fellow human beings. Look, first things first, this was not intended to be 2 streams. What happened was, the first stream, it crashed. We don't know why. It just crashed out of nowhere and stopped. I didn't stop the stream. It just stopped for no reason. Secondly, I am making this because there are 2 sides to every story. And I want people to hear my side. I think it's important, sorry about that, to get both sides of the story. Because so many people are just accepting that I'm the bad guy in all this, when that couldn't be further from the truth. I want this drama to be over. I never wanted this drama. And this drama could have been easily avoided. All Raven had to do was talk to me. That's all she had to do. But blocking people is not a healthy way of going about things. She needs to understand that the door swings both ways. She could have at least tried to understand where I was coming from, rather than just assuming I wanted to hurt her. And I apologize if she was hurt by what I said. I truly, genuinely do. I will take steps to be more careful with how I word things, so they do not come off as insensitive. But again, like I said in part 1, I'm not perfect. I'm a human being with flaws. And I do wish I could have done better. And I will do better. But I cannot focus on the past. I cannot change the past. I can only change the future. And I will genuinely take steps to avoid this again. But these attacks on my character, this drama, all the people that have called me a disgusting human being, it doesn't help. See, Raven, this is where I have to disagree with you. I am willing to change. Again, you're making an assumption about me. Based on what? You don't know me. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen little more than 1 or 2 of my videos. I genuinely care about my content, and I care about my character. I want to be better. I always strive to be better. I'm constantly doing... I personally, voluntarily seeked out a therapist. Why? So I can better myself as a person. Because I want to be a better person. And I am showing it. The fact that I'm even making this stream is evidence of that. See, someone who was guilty, they would not take accountability. I have taken accountability. I have apologized 3 times to Raven. And if she came to me from the very beginning and spoken to me and let me know that, hey, what you said hurt me, I would have apologized and I would have done what I could to help her understand that I meant no offense. And I did not mean to hurt her. I never meant any harm. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't like hurting people. I don't even like accidentally hurting people. I don't. My goal is not to tear people down. Absolutely not. I believe in the best that people can be. I'm always pushing and trying to help people to strive to be the best person that they can possibly be. That couldn't be further from the truth. Again, I have to ask you this, Raven. Have you ever heard of a concept called Hanlon's razor? If not, I would recommend looking it up. You may find that it applies greatly to this situation. You assumed I was being aggressive. You assumed I was being hateful based on words. Not even words. Texts. Texts that can easily be misinterpreted. Look, you don't need to apologize for being protective of your friends. I'm protective of my friends too. Anyone would be. In fact, if you weren't protective of your friends, I would honestly have to raise an eyebrow at you. But here's the thing. You're protecting someone from someone who meant them no harm. Look, Raven, I understand that I made some poor choice words in my video. I'm not going to try to defend that video. It was a very old video, and there are some words that I wasn't too proud of saying. I acknowledge that. And I will admit, I did come from a place of anger, because these people were trying to ruin a man's life. I was rightfully upset about that. Now, the actions that I chose while in that state of rage is not justifiable. And look, Raven, don't try to deflect or point out issues. I will acknowledge fault and take accountability where it is necessary. And I'm likely going to take that video down because I am not proud of it. I admit, when I am angry, I say things that I do not necessarily mean. And I do wish I could take those words back. I do wish I worded myself more constructively towards those people. I will admit, I have a mindset where people who do awful things deserve awful things to happen to them. Now, you could say that that's maybe a negative or toxic mindset. You may very well be right. It's just kind of how I see things. If people do awful things and try to ruin people's lives, bad things should happen to them. And in some extreme cases, for those who try to maliciously ruin people's lives, or even go so far as to rape someone, try to murder someone, or kidnap someone, I don't believe those people are worthy of life. Now, look, I understand that that might be an extreme mindset to have. I am a very morally gray person. But that's just how I see things. Those who would cause malicious harm to people, especially under extreme circumstances, I don't believe that they're worthy of life. Now, we can debate all day long whether this is toxic or just a simply morally gray perspective on bad people. But here's the thing, Raven. I felt disrespected by some things in your video. And I felt that in your video, you were very callous about the concept of innocent until proven guilty. From my perspective, and if you don't hold this belief, you should have been more clear in your video. From my perspective, you were saying that innocent until proven guilty should be thrown out the window if someone is accused of something. If someone has allegations, they should automatically be fired, even if they are innocent or even if there is no evidence to suggest that they are guilty of those things. Now, if you do not hold that perspective, that's good. However, you should have made yourself more clear in your video. Now, I'm willing to move on from this. I'm even willing to potentially be friends with you if that's okay. I know you may think I'm a toxic person. I understand that. But ask anyone who knows me personally. I'm anything but. I'm one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet in your life. In fact, my mother always used to criticize me for being a doormat because I was always so sweet to people. I would always give people second chances, even if they didn't necessarily deserve it. And it would often result in my mother misunderstanding me and thinking that I was some kind of doormat or I was letting people walk all over me. That's fine. As I said, maybe it couldn't have hurt for you to be a little bit more clear. I could have misunderstood your argument. That would be fair. But it felt like to me, when you said that because people have allegations against them, that means that companies are in the right to fire people, I think that's a blatant violation of innocent until proven guilty. I firmly believe that Rooster Teeth and Funimation were in the wrong to fire Vic Mignogna. They should have waited until potential evidence came up. I believe that they were way too quick and harsh towards Vic Mignogna. I think that the way Rooster Teeth handled the situation was a blatant violation of innocent until proven guilty. It came off to me like the company was trying to throw Vic under the bus to save their own ass, to make themselves look good, because they were afraid of potential hate mobs. That's what it came off as to me. And I did not respect them for that. If there was genuine evidence that Vic Mignogna did do those things, fine. But the evidence simply was not there. And I do apologize if I misunderstood your argument, Raven. I really do. Like I said, I don't want to assume bad things. And I am glad that you don't support Kick Vic. I'm glad that you are attempting to take a neutral stance. That is very good. That's definitely better than what other people who got involved in that drama did. Many of them treated it like a black and white situation, that there were good guys and bad guys. But here's the thing, Raven. While what you said is not technically wrong, what I said was not technically wrong either. I personally felt that Rooster Teeth and Funimation handled the situation very irresponsibly. I think they were way too quick to act. I think they were way too quick to act. I think that they potentially threw Vic under the bus just to save their own skin. Now, you could say this is a theory, and my theory could very well be wrong. But that's what it came off as to me. And in regards to me saying that Funimation and Rooster Teeth are at the mercy of their consumers, what I was trying to get across, and I wish I was in a better mindset when I said this, is here's the thing you need to understand about me. I am a anarcho-capitalist. I support capitalism and the free market. I believe in the concept that companies are and should be at the mercy of their consumers, because at the end of the day, it is the people that buy their product. And if nobody buys their product, their company does not exist. It cannot exist. And from my point of view, I believe that Funimation and Rooster Teeth did not seem to understand this concept that at the end of the day, they are at the mercy of us, the consumer. And again, I will acknowledge I could have worded it better. I could have used a little less curse words. And I will admit, I was upset. I probably shouldn't have recorded when I was upset. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to avoid that drama. Here's the thing, Raven. I never wanted to be a part of the Vic Mignogna drama. I was dragged into it. In the same way, I'm being dragged into this drama with you. I don't want it. But people are dragging me into it. Everyone kept telling me, please make a Vic Mignogna video. Please make a video on the Kick Vic drama. I really, truly wanted to avoid it. But it was starting to feel like I had no choice. So I made my videos. And I will admit, one of the reasons why I didn't want to make a video on it is because I was very upset about the situation. And I was extremely upset to see Monica Rial, my all-time favorite voice actress, behave the way that she did. It made me upset. As a fan, I felt betrayed by Monica Rial. So yes, I was rightfully upset. Right back at you, Raven. My intention was not to be harsh with you. I assure you, there was no aggression when I wrote that comment. I was not upset. I was not offended. I was not being aggressive. What I was trying to get across, Raven, is this. Don't let your sexuality define who you are. You are more than your sexuality. Your sexuality does not define who you are as a person. Sure, it may tell people what you are, but does it tell us who you are as a character? And that's my philosophy. I don't believe in identity politics. I believe in individualism. I believe in character. Show us, Raven, who you are as a person, who you are as a character. Define what makes you an individual by who you are, not what you are. I asked this question earlier. If I came up to you and told you that I was a white bisexual crossdresser, what would that honestly tell you about who I am as a person? And you're free to give an answer or not, and there is no right or wrong answer. But here's my perspective. My perspective is simply telling people your skin color, your gender, or your sexuality. That doesn't really tell people who you are as a person. And I tried my best to word it in the best way possible. I wasn't saying that you being bisexual was meaningless. Not at all. What I was trying to get across was those who would judge you solely by the fact that you are bisexual, either in a positive or a negative sense, that is what is truly meaningless. Because in the grand scheme of things, your sexuality does not change who you are. I mean, sure, it may change a little bit about who you date, but that's really about it. It doesn't change you as a person. Me being a trap doesn't define who I am as a person. Me being a guy does not define who I am as a person, you know? And that's what I was trying to get across to you. Sorry, I turned off the heater because my mic was picking it up.
Oh.
Yeah, I just turned it off. You just need to turn it back on. I don't want any bad blood, Raven. And I do not think you are a bad person. At least I hope you are not a bad person. I don't want to believe you are a bad person. I want to simply believe that this is one big misunderstanding. And you're free to private message me anytime you want. I'll gladly give you my time. I really don't mind. And look, I'm willing to look past the disrespect that I felt that you gave me in your video. I'm willing to look past that. I'm not one to hold a grudge. If you're willing to let this drama die, I'm willing to let it die. All I ever really wanted was for you to at least communicate with me. Had you told me that you felt hurt by what I said, I would have immediately reached out to you and tried to explain to you that I didn't mean any malicious intent. I did not mean to hurt you. And look, that's perfectly understandable. I get that you were wanting to show that you came to terms with your sexuality. That's fine. But here's the thing, and this is my perspective. And I'm not saying this is what you were doing. This was just how I saw it. Now, I honestly thought that you did the role play like you said in your video, and you started thinking to yourself, what if I'm bisexual? And you started thinking to yourself, this is a way I could get some attention. This is a way I could make myself seem unique and like I'm a brave person. Because right now, in our current generation, coming out as gay will get you a parade. Literally and figuratively, people will throw you a parade. Gay people are put on a pedestal these days. That is what I meant when I said that homophobia is almost non-existent. I tried to reach out to you. I couldn't find your Twitter. I couldn't find your Discord. You didn't have links to them. See, if you go into the description of my video, I left links. I went all over your channel trying to reach out to you. But here's what I need you to understand. Sure, does homophobia still exist? Absolutely. However, the point I was trying to get across, it's not as prevalent as it's used to be. Homophobia is heavily stigmatized. It is seen as morally unacceptable to be homophobic. And that's what I was trying to get across to you. Not only that, but if I couldn't reach out to you, I was considering making a video response. Because I wasn't getting any responses from you in the YouTube comment section, because I did ask a couple of questions, none of which I ever got answers to. So I honestly felt ignored. And when you disable your comment section, I won't lie, I honestly thought that it was your way of trying to avoid criticism, you know? Now sure, you could argue that may have been unfair of me to assume. But it is in my experience that those who disable their comment section usually do so if they cannot handle criticism. You know? Colonial. Trap has nothing to do with transgenderism. Traps and transgenders are completely different. They are not the same. I have made plenty of videos about this. This says the stream is still up. Yeah, it's still going. Yeah, it says we're still live. Well, here's the thing. I did not know that you were a liberal Christian. In the same way, you did not know that I was an anarchist. Because I don't identify as liberal or conservative. I am an anarchist. I don't even like politics. I think politics are very divisive and toxic, and it only gets in the way of human progress. I consider myself a philosopher. I take more of a philosophical approach to things. And I'm also not religious, but I'm not an atheist either. I consider myself agnostic. Here's what I always tell people. I cannot disprove the existence of a being that we may call a god. However, until I see evidence of said God, I cannot blindly believe it either. Trap is not a slur. I have made many videos on my channel explaining this. This is exactly what I feared. My fears were Sorry, I have a bit of a stuttering problem. My fears were confirmed. You do think that trap is a slur, but that's simply not true. Now here's the thing. If you use trap to define a transgender, that is factually incorrect. However, it is not a slur. It is incorrect to call them a trap in the same way that it is incorrect to call a transgender in the same way that it's incorrect for someone to call a trap a transgender. Again, I have made many videos on this subject. Trap is absolutely not a slur. And even if it were a slur, which it isn't, when is censorship in any context ever okay? Censorship is a fascist concept, and I despise fascism. Anarchists like me fight to abolish fascism once and for all. And that is why I felt disrespected. I felt that you did not respect the identity of those like me who identify as traps. Does that make sense to you? An atheist is simply defined as someone who does not believe in the existence of a God. Now, here's what I will say, Raven. If you're interested in having a discussion on this topic, I'll gladly discuss with you about it. Well, here's the thing, Raven. That shows me that you did not do any proper research. Because if you go onto my channel, I make it pretty obvious that I'm a trap. It's no secret. If you go to my channel description, I describe myself as a trap. Similar to your friend Enigma, I have to say the same thing I said to him. He did not properly do his research. If he properly did his research, he could have avoided making certain incorrect criticisms about me. For example, Enigma called me an anime channel. I am not an anime channel. And here's the thing you need to understand about me. The title of my channel, Kimimorra's Trap Brothel, it's nothing more than a tongue-in-cheek joke. That's all it is. It's not meant to be taken literally. It's just for fun. And here's the thing. My YouTube persona is that of a trap persona. The character you see before you is my character. Kimimorra is my character. And Kimimorra is a trap, just like me. Now, this is where I have to say I'm very disappointed in you, Raven. A little bit of research on my channel could have helped you avoid that. And if you didn't censor the word trap or imply that it's a slur, I would have had no problem with your video. And I would have said, you know what? You're right. Because I am embarrassed by that video, Raven. Like I said, it's likely going to be deleted. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Your friend Shom, I don't know if he ever told you, I'm a good sport when it comes to criticism. I welcome criticism. I practically beg for it. And you can see in the comment section of his response to my top 10 worst death battles, the first one I made, I was a real good sport about it. Now, sure, I did have a couple of problems with his video, and we did have a mature discussion about it. I know, and it's frustrating. I'm going to change my YouTube URL. I've been meaning to get around to that. But please, Raven, do not call me Ankap-Otaku. That was only ever a placeholder name I used when my channel was in its infancy. I no longer use that name anymore. And I'm not going to lie, I do find it frustrating when people call me Ankap-Otaku. I changed that name for a reason. You, Enigma, and Shom keep calling me Ankap-Otaku, and I do not appreciate it. I respect you enough to call you by the names you want to be called by. You want to be called Raven? Okay, I'll call you Raven. Enigma wants to be called Enigma, I'll call him Enigma. Shom, or however you pronounce his name, he wants to be called Shom, that's fine. I respect you enough to call you by the titles you desire to be called by. Now, can you afford me that same respect and courtesy? To call me by my name? You don't even have to call me Kimimorra's Trap Brothel. That's the name of my channel. The name of my actual persona is Kimimorra. And if you have a hard time saying the name Kimimorra, okay, it's a little bit of a weird, unique name. You can just call me Kimmy for short. Lots of people do it. My fans call me Kimmy all the time. And like I said, if you want, we can have a private or a live discussion about if trap is a slur or not. If you are interested, we can do that. I've always wanted to have live debates on my channel anyway, but we can also do it privately if you want. Or if you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. If you don't want to associate with me, you don't have to associate with me. You do have freedom of association. I would at least recommend checking out some of my videos where I debunk myths about traps and educate people about the trap lifestyle. Because traps, thanks to this idea that trap is a slur, traps regularly face attacks and discrimination. Earlier in the stream, I told a story about how my grandfather tried to throw me out of the house when he discovered that I was a trap. It took my older brother convincing him not to throw me out of the house. It was a very scary night for me. Trust me, we traps, we face lots of adversity, just like the transgenders and just like the rest of the LGBT community. In fact, lately we have to deal with a disgusting practice known as pink pilling, where people in the transgender community will go up to femboys, crossdressers, or traps, and they will bully or manipulate them into believing that they are transgender. A good friend of mine was a victim of this, and had he never met me, he would have been pink pilled. Thankfully, I was able to help him understand that no, you're not transgender. You are just a femboy. You're just a trap. Don't let these people manipulate you like that. It's not easy being a trap. And if you are genuinely ignorant about traps, and maybe you don't know a lot about us, that's fine. Hanlon's Rainer. Dang it. Hanlon's Razor. I will not attribute malice, that which can be explained through stupidity or ignorance. Now, don't take that the wrong way. I am not saying in any way that you are stupid, Raven. Worst case scenario, I think you might be misinformed. And that's fine. That's what my channel is all about. I'm all about educating people and exposing them to the truth. That is all. Now, if you're willing to bury the hatchet and let this drama die, then that would be great. That's all I want. I don't want this to continue any forward. And I hope that one fish mob can realize that he screwed up by uploading that video, and I hope he takes it down. Because it was very irresponsible for him to upload that video. Because all he did was just escalate the drama. All he did was get offended on your behalf. I believe that you, Raven, are able to stand up for yourself. Now, sure, other people are free to defend you. However, they shouldn't feel that they have to defend you. Or at the very least, they shouldn't feel the need to get offended on your behalf. Because I do believe that you, Enigma, and One Fish Mob, you all made a mountain out of an anthill. So, I don't know where to go from here. I've said my piece, I've told my side of the story. Now it's up to all of our audiences to decide what they think. I've had some of my fans say that they have lost respect for me, or they think that I'm a disgusting person because of this. That's why I felt the need to defend myself. If you're sorry, then I'm sorry. And here's another thing, Raven. I do suffer from certain mental disorders. Now, I understand that the way I phrased that comment came off as very nihilistic. Here's the thing. I suffer from depression. But here's the thing. I suffer from no ordinary depression. I suffer from clinical depression. That means I am depressed at all times, no matter what. Even if I'm having the best day of my life, I am always depressed. And due to this depression, it has certain side effects, such as having a more nihilistic or pessimistic view of things. And I do see that my words came off as nihilistic and pessimistic, even though that was not what I was trying to do. And I'm so frustrated that my words got lost in translation. Honestly, you know what? I wish I just made a response video instead. I was considering making a response video. And maybe I should have done that, because it would have been a lot harder for you to take me out of context, because you would be able to hear my voice. You would be able to listen to my mannerisms. You'd be able to know that there is no malice. But with text, it's way easier to misinterpret. I highly recommend this Key and Peele skit that perfectly represents what I think happened here. And basically, I believe it's called misunderstood text messages where two friends are texting back and forth, and one of them thinks that his friend is being a dick, and the other one thinks that his friend is being amazing and priceless. And long story short, it leads to his friend going to a bar with a nail bat, thinking he's about to engage in a street fight with his best friend. It's a bit of a ridiculous situation, but it is also meant to show how easy it is to take things out of context from just text messages or comments. Here's the thing, Raven. I do take breaks from the internet. I spend most of my time at work. I have a job. I don't know if you have a job or go to school, but I work. And that's where I spend most of my time. I only get 2 days off a week. And even then, I spend at least half of the day sleeping. I sleep, I go to work, and then maybe I get a few hours to myself when I get home. Now, here would be my advice to you, Raven. Always remember Hanlon's razor. Never be so quick to assume the worst in people. Try to talk to people. Try to communicate with them. Don't be so quick to block them. Listen to what they have to say. It can always be a misunderstanding. Yeah, blocking on YouTube is very weird, because when you block someone, nobody can see their comments but that person that was blocked. But for some reason, when you're in a live chat, you're able to communicate with that person. It's very weird. Once again, YouTube is just extremely broken. I don't know how YouTube even functions anymore at this point. Yep. And I'm not going to hold that against you, because I can understand how my comment may have given you reason to believe that I was trying to hurt you. Trust me, I would never want to hurt anyone. I'm a pacifist. I'm a kind-hearted, loving person. I want people to have the freedom to do whatever they want as long as they're not hurting anyone. That's my philosophy. I believe in the best that people can be. I don't like to believe in this nonsense that humans are inherently evil. I don't believe humans are inherently evil. And like I said, you are free to talk to me anytime you want, Raven. If you're ever struggling with any kind of issue, feel free to talk to me. In fact, I'm a fellow bisexual. If you have any questions about what it's like to be bisexual, I live that lifestyle. I can help give you advice or help you understand this potential new sexuality or lifestyle you are a part of. See, the point of my comment when I was mentioning that I've been with both boys and girls, that wasn't meant to be like a flex or anything. It was meant to show that real life is way different than roleplay, you know? Look, I can't blame you there. I am also autistic. I know you joined the stream quite late, but at one point in this stream, I explained that I am autistic. I am socially crippled. What people see as socially unacceptable, I will not necessarily see as socially unacceptable. A simple example of this is eating with your hands. All my life, people always told me that it's rude and socially unacceptable to eat with your hands, and I've never understood why. That is just a simple example of that I'm socially crippled. Even if I do see that I've done something socially unacceptable, I realize it after the fact, sadly. It sucks, but it's the way it is. I sadly had to spend 4 years in special ed classes in elementary school because of this. And I won't lie, it sucked. But it is what it is. But I don't use it as a crutch, and I don't let it hold me back. Because why should it hold me back? You see, that's the interesting thing about all this, Raven. We have much more in common than you may think. I don't want to be cliche, but we're not so different, you and I. I think, had we just talked to each other, we could have found commonality and easily laughed this off as a massive misunderstanding. This wouldn't be the first time this happened. If you go onto my YouTube channel, there was almost drama between me and another YouTuber called Connor Diesel, but because of a massive misunderstanding, we almost got into drama. Thankfully, one of Diesel's amazing fans talked to him and encouraged him to talk to me, which he did. He reached out to me on Discord, we had an absolutely lovely discussion, and we came to the understanding that it was a massive misunderstanding, and the drama was avoided. I'm disappointed in myself that I even allowed the drama to get this far. And I hope that people will see these streams and they will understand that this drama is completely silly and unnecessary. Like I said, I'm bisexual. I'm autistic. You're free to come to me and talk to me anytime. I'll give you advice based on my experiences of what it's like. Not only am I autistic, but I grew up with an autistic younger brother as well. I'm not the bad person that you or your friends or any of the people who saw those comments think that I am. Yeah, admittedly I do roleplay with my Kimimorra character because sometimes it's fun to roleplay. I won't lie. Here's the thing. If it means anything to you, Raven, if it's any consolation, how does this sound to you? As you can tell, I'm a 3D artist. I also do commissions. How would you like some 3D art made by me that you can use as an avatar? If you have any kind of original artwork you would like made, here's an opportunity to get it made by someone who does 3D art. I went to college for video game programming, among other things. It's what I studied. If you want, I'll gladly make you some artwork as an apology gift. I don't mind. It's up to you if you want to accept it or not. But the offer will be opened. If you want some artwork made by me as an apology present, get in contact with me. I'll get that done for you. It can be original or it can be of a character you like. I have a lot of experience here. I've made lots of different characters and I've made lots of different original artwork as well. If you've gone into my community tab at all, I've released a lot of concept art for characters for an anime that I wrote, and I hope to someday make real. I work on 3D art and I write scripts in my free time on top of making YouTube videos. And I've made 3D artwork for people before. I've made it for friends. I've had people commission it. It's what I love to do. Like I said, let me know if you're interested. See, what I do is I utilize cel-shaded graphics to be able to achieve the anime or cartoon art style. Originally, I tried using more realistic graphics when I made my artwork, and it didn't exactly come out the way that I wanted. So I shifted to cel-shaded, and it worked a lot better. So I'm able to make my characters look like anime characters or cartoon characters, which is what I originally wanted. This character you see before you is but an example of some of the artwork that I've made. I can even make you poses that you can use to make your character be more expressive in commentary videos, so that way you don't have to use copyrighted characters like Danganronpa characters or characters from Gravity Falls. Not saying it's a bad thing or anything. When I started out my channel, I famously used Mei Misaki as my avatar before I was able to make my own original artwork. Like I said, I have a Twitter, I have a Discord, and I leave the links to all my social media in the description of all my videos. Contact me anytime. I honestly don't mind. I'm just glad that this drama can be over with. And I hope that Fish will see this video, Enigma will see this video, and Shom will see this video. Now, I have my own issues with them, but I'll find a way to work that out with them. However, it does appear that I have been removed from Enigma's Discord, which is not a good sign. But I am disappointed that things got this far. I should have done more to stop it. No, because Enigma, if Enigma wants artwork made, that's fine. I'll offer it to him. I don't know if it'll be free, though. I still have to make money because, shock of shock, 3D art and animation is extremely expensive. But here's the thing. I do have my issues with Enigma. I find some of his criticism to be useless, and I found him to be extremely disrespectful in one of his videos. But that is a conversation I will save for him, as my issues with Enigma has little to do with Raven, and what matters here is what's going on between me and Raven. Sure, Enigma, Shom, and Fish have somehow gotten themselves into this drama, sadly by association. And I'll try, and I know I'm trying to end all this drama with one single video, which may very well not happen. But I'll at least try my best. Night, sis. I'm sorry if you feel that you got dragged into this. I'll make it up to you somehow. Remember, I have a job. That's how I afford it. I make $11 an hour. I actually make pretty decent money at my job. I also have a Patreon, and my YouTube channel is monetized. I also make commissions. That's how I recoup my costs for the money spent making the 3D art. That's why I usually only make free artwork under special circumstances. Under normal circumstances, I would charge Raven for the artwork, but considering these circumstances, I'm willing to offer it for free as an apology gift. To show that there is no bad blood, and to show that I am a very kind, giving person. I like to give to people. I don't like to take away. And if Raven wants, she's even free to come on my podcast if she wants. I have been looking to have guests. I do have my own podcast. We can talk and have a fun time. And if she ever wants to be educated on traps, I'll gladly help her understand. I know, sadly, there are a lot of people that want to support my channel through things like Patreon, but sadly find themselves unable to. And it does suck, trust me. I know the feeling. There was once a time where I made little to no money, and I couldn't support some of my favorite creators. It would always bum me out. But with that being said, I think we may have come to a happy ending. I might end this stream soon. I don't know. Because it is about 3 a.m. for me. I didn't expect this stream to be this long. Originally, I only wanted it to be an hour long at most. I'll try to get something uploaded by the end of tonight or possibly tomorrow. Something more fun. If you want to pay me with a Steam gift card for a 3D model, that's perfectly okay. I have a video all about my commissions. But if you want, private message me and we'll discuss about it. See, prices vary. It depends on what you want. But I'll get into that into private messages. Sorry if I got a little emotional in the beginning parts of this stream. I was extremely stressed out and very anxious. Anxiety is a cruel, cruel mistress. Look, dude, if she's willing to admit wrong, which she did, which is what you wanted, then there's no problem here. At the end of the day, all I really want is accountability. That's it. She took accountability for what she did wrong. What more do you want? She apologized. Look, dude, she apologized. I thought that's what you wanted. I don't know why you're being like this, guy. I don't know why you're being like this, my guy. Like, seriously. You've lost respect for me? Why? Because I decided to resolve things peacefully? Is that it? Would you preferred that this drama continued and only gotten worse? I don't get it. I really don't. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I strictly said at the beginning of the stream, you're free to form your own perspective. My advice would be just try not to be black and white about it. I'll save that for another time. Originally, I was going to upload a versus video. I was going to upload the second episode of Bad Death Battle Ideas, but sadly, this drama got in the way. So, it's going to have to wait, sadly. I'm sorry that you guys keep missing out on videos because of stupid shit. It's really not fair to you guys. I'll do whatever I can to make it up to you guys, though. I'll try to get something uploaded by the end of the night. I'm surprised she even showed up at all. Honestly, I was fully expecting her to just block me, make her video, and then make the drama worse. I'm just happy that didn't happen. I don't want war. I don't want, two YouTubers criticizing each other is one thing. Two YouTubers going to war with each other is a completely different issue. I don't like it when YouTubers go to war with each other. I'm perfectly A-okay with Raven criticizing me, or Enigma criticizing me. As long as the criticism is fair, I will listen. But if they're going to try to start drama, then that's a problem. I am grateful that one of her friends came here and was willing to hear my side of the story and talk her into speaking to me. And that's honestly more than I can say for most people. My abusive ex or her boyfriend would never do such a thing. Sadly, the bad blood between me and her will likely never end. She would never try to talk to me. But it is what it is. Sadly, some things are just not meant to be. Hopefully, this is the last I will ever get into drama. I try so hard to avoid drama. I really do. I just want to entertain people. That's why I'm here. I'm not even here necessarily to purely criticize other people. I just want to entertain people. I want to make people laugh. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be an entertainer. It's all I've ever wanted to be. My dream is to someday be able to be a full-time YouTuber. But right now, I can only be a part-time YouTuber because sadly, YouTube right now doesn't pay the bills. And while I do say I mostly do my YouTube for fun, sadly, bills are bills. I still gotta pay the bills, thus I also have to do my job. But unless anyone has any other questions or anything else they want to say, I think I'll cut off the stream here because it doesn't look like there's any more to say, and I don't want to just seem like I'm dragging out this stream. Anyone from Enigma, Fan War, or Raven's fan base, you're more than welcome to join my Discord if you are interested. I will admit I'm not always the most active because, again, I'm a very busy person, but I try my best. Hopefully we can get back to just having fun. Because that's all I want to do on my channel. As for Fan War, Enigma, and anyone else who's in this drama, I don't know what's going to become of them. I'll try talking to them. My favorite Final Fantasy character, honestly, it's a tough choice. There's so many great Final Fantasy characters. Kain, Cecil, Celes, Kryl, Eiko, hell, almost the entire cast of Final Fantasy IX alone are some of my favorites. Daggers, Zidane, Vivi, Freya. The only characters I really didn't like was Steiner and Amarant and Quina. I'll have to get back to you on that one. You know what I'll do? I'm planning a ranking video for Final Fantasy characters. It'll be just like that ranking Death Battle Media thing I did, but I'll rank all the Final Fantasy characters from what I believe is the best and the worst. And maybe I'll also make a top 10 list of my favorite Final Fantasy characters. In fact, one project I plan on doing later down the line is I want to do Final Fantasy Month. I'm not ignoring you, Kai. You keep asking that same question and the answer is no. My mods will not allow me to let you back into my server. I am sorry. I don't know what to do. I've tried talking to them. But yeah. So I'll just save that for a potential video. Whenever I decide to do Final Fantasy Month, I'll do top 10 favorite Final Fantasy characters. Right now I'm working on my top 10 favorite anime. Which, don't worry, it is nearly finished. I'm on rank 3. I just got 3 more to go. What's taking so long is I've been constantly re-editing it after listening to criticism from people like Enigma and trying to make sure that the video is the best it can be due to my OCD perfectionist complex. But yeah, I'll save any other questions for another live stream where I feel it is more relevant. So yeah, thanks to anyone who sat through the stream and listened to my side of the story. And again, I will end with this. I did not want this drama.